So far this year, it has been a crazy year for brand new releases. Usually, at least for the last like 5 years or so, we get about 90% of our brand new releases in the first 4 months of the year. And then it kind of slows down to a trickle when you usually get like 3 or 4 for the rest of the year. Not this year. This year, it has just been ongoing. I mean, 3 weeks ago, I did a video announcing 5 new releases. And now we have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another 6 fragrances that are on their way out that are like mainstream designer niche fragrances. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Going through, detailing them, let you know which ones are coming out, which ones that I want to pick up. So without further ado, let's get it. What's good, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude. Thank you guys so much for joining me for yet another detailed look into upcoming releases that are either just released right now or they're upcoming within the next month or two. Again, I'm not going to be talking about the ones I talked about 5 weeks ago. Kenzo Homme Santal Marin is already released in Europe. Versace Eros Energy should be released in August or September from what I'm hearing. We also had Tom Ford's Eau d'Ombre Leather, which just hit Sephora's website out of stock, so it should be there soon. I had tried that out already, but I'm not talking about that today. And then Spice Bomb Dark Leather. Again, I already detailed that in another video. It actually was going to look like one of my favorite fragrances coming out, but a lot of people are comparing it to a leather version of Extreme. If that's the case, I don't really like Extreme, but that's neither here or there. But we're going to be talking about 6 fragrances. I think I have 2 niche and 4 designer that are upcoming. With that said, before we get into the video, if you're not already and you like my content, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Everybody else on the way in, hit the like, comment below. Let me know which ones you're more excited about, which ones you're not really excited about. And yeah, we're also going to dive into a fragrance that I did detail on the last video, but there's been rumors that it was fake, that it wasn't. I'll also talk about that. And that's what we're going to start with probably, which is Chanel's Allure Homme Sport Superleggera. Superleggera is an Italian car brand. So when this was announced, it was announced 2 months ago by somebody who apparently worked for a Portland Chanel boutique. And they showed the picture of the bottle, and everybody was like, why would Chanel, a brand that's not in Italy, do a detailed collaboration worldwide with a brand that's an Italian car brand? This didn't make sense. But I heard that it was real. I heard it from 3 different sources, so I did a video about it. And then another reviewer went to the LA Chanel boutique and they said they never heard of it. It has to be fake, blah, 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 blah. So I just kind of told you guys, I have no idea. No freaking idea if this is real or not. And that was at the same exact time that we were talking about the Parfums de Marly, where it was Imperious, which is a curse from Harry Potter. And that was fake news. So a lot of people were saying, oh, well, I guess this Chanel's fake too. I still said, I have no idea. No idea if this is real or not. Just going based on what other people were saying. It didn't look real, but guess what? Somebody picked it up at a duty-free store, and now it has hit the Chanel's European website for sale. And the worldwide release is in August of this year, so next month. And it's going to be rolling around for their 3.4 ounce, $160. The main notes are grapefruit accord, amber, and musk, and it's looking to be an eau de parfum. I heard somebody said in a comment today that it looks like it's going to be Terre d'Hermès Eau Gevrey, but by Chanel. I don't think that's the case, because based on what I've seen from the person who did review this on TikTok, it's going to be just like all the other Allure Hommes. They have that Allure Homme DNA. This is going to be Allure Homme Sport, but from what I'm understanding, it's going to be a bit greener and then have a little bit more heavy of the grapefruit, but it's not going to smell like Eau Gevrey. It's still going to be an Allure Homme Sport. I'm really excited about it because it's the first time an Allure Homme flanker has come out since like 2011. That was Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. So, I mean, and they did have the Edition Blanche Eau de Parfum in there, but Still, very excited about it. It says it's a contemporary woody iteration with an olfactive family of citrus, woody, and fruity. So, really excited about that. That's Allure Homme Sport Superleggera. Again, should be out next month. It is 100% real. So, now it is definitely confirmed because somebody did pick it up. And that was some dude on TikTok, some kid, like 15-year-old kid found it at a duty-free store. Anyway, going to the next one. This one, I have absolutely no rhyme or reason to pick this up. I don't like any of the other ones in the line. I've never been a fan of the Sauvage line at all. This is Sauvage Eau Forte. And people keep saying, oh, you're not going to buy it because it's a watery fragrance? Because this one is substituting the perfumer's alcohol for a water base. And usually, if you have water-based fragrances, they're milky. And they do that a lot from what I understand, in the Middle East. They do a lot of water-based fragrances that come out milky. I don't know. That's not the reason why. I mean, that's one of them. But the main reason is that outside of Sauvage Elixir, the other three I could do without. I mean, I bought Sauvage Eau de Parfum and Eau de Toilette, and I gave it to my nephew. So I don't really care about the Eau Forte. I'm not picking it up. It is on Saks right now. Saks Fifth Avenue for $160 for the 2 ounce and $195 for the large. I still don't care. The main notes are blanched lavender, cold spices, woody notes, and musk. I mean, this might be like, it's still in the Sauvage line, so I don't see it being different than Sauvage DNA. But it is Francis Kirkjohn, who is the perfumer of it. So it could be his iteration on the line, which could be completely different. I mean, Sauvage Elixir was completely different. So maybe this one will smell different. I will try it out, but I am not spending $195 on a fragrance that I don't like the line. So you're not going to see that on my channel first. You're going to see that on other channels. Right now, I could have it in the mail. It could be here tomorrow. But I'm not doing that. So I apologize for anybody who wanted me to review that right away. I'm not going to because I honestly don't care. If it does show up in my Macy's, I'll obviously do a review, but I need to try that stuff first. It just doesn't make any sense for me. Watery base fragrance seems like it's, I mean, I do know that from what I've heard, it's an Eau de Parfum Sensual is what it's called. And so I honestly don't know. I mean, I've heard watery fragrances actually can project very well. Well, I don't think it's going to last that long. We're going to have to see. I mean, it seems like it could be okay, but I don't know. The notes are blanched lavender and cold spices. What the heck are those? I mean, yeah, so we're just going to have to figure that one out. The next one I am really excited about, though. Moving on from designer and going into the niche spectrum. This is Creed Centaurus, or Centaurus. It's Centaurus or Centaurus, whatever you call it. This fragrance looks banging. I told you guys 2 months ago, Creed was releasing in the from August to November. It's supposedly going to be end of August, early September, but it does have a possibility of coming out in November. Creed Centaurus looks, I mean, I told you it was going to be like one of those neon colored bottles. But the note breakdown is this. The top notes are cardamom, cinnamon, black pepper, and tobacco. Mid notes are geranium, heliotrope, jasmine, patchouli, and sandalwood. Base notes are benzoin, tonka bean, tolu balsam, abroxan, and bourbon vanilla. Do I really have to spell out why I'm going to like that fragrance? Bourbon vanilla, one of my favorite notes. Tonka bean and benzoin. I mean, come on. Tolu balsam, really nice. Gives some woodiness. It has the patchouli base in there. Cinnamon, my favorite note for any spice out there. Black pepper, tobacco, cardamom. Give it a little bit of a green spice. Geranium, my favorite aromatic tone. I just don't see this not being good. The only way that it could not be good is if they made it overly sweet, which they've done with the women's line this last couple years. So I'm really excited about this fragrance. Very, very excited. I'm not as excited that upon release they're like $400, but I will head out to Nordstrom the minute this is released, try it out, and if I like it, I'll pay that $400 right off the top. Or at least I'll tell the owner of Venba, hey, can you pick this up so I can buy it on your website for like $60 cheaper? But yeah, Creed Centaurus is probably the one that out of this entire list that I am the most excited about. It has the biggest upside of any of the other fragrances on this list. I'm surprised that they're coming out with another freaking fragrance. They usually do one Boss bottled fragrance and one the scent fragrance a year, and maybe a limited edition, but there's no limited edition this year. And the other one already came out, which was Boss bottled Triumph Elixir, which I have here for my top 5 designer fragrances so far this year. And this one looks good. It's Boss bottled Absolu. They already have Boss bottled Absolute. This is Absolu, like Acqua di Gio Absolu. The notes are leather, patchouli, cedarwood essence. It's a parfum intense, and it's a olfactive family of woody. So, I mean, I feel like, and I talked with somebody about this the other day, Boss used to have their fruity apple spice. That was their base DNA, with sandalwood underneath. It was apple, cinnamon, and sandalwood. That was the base DNA for the whole line. I feel like they brought in some new perfumers to reinvent the line, because over the last 2 years, the base of the fragrance is patchouli. And so right now, we're getting patchouli in this fragrance again. So I think this is going to be a reimagined version of the elixir, the Triumph Elixir, with that patchouli base, which is a warm, creamy, semi-sweet patchouli mixed together with this leather and cedarwood essence. And so usually Boss, if they give you 3-note breakdown, that's really all you're going to need to know. So if this is a leather, woody, semi-sweet, creamy patchouli, I think this is going to be a really good fragrance. But we'll have to see. Even though Boss has been knocking it out of the park, of the last 2 years, 4 fragrances were in my top 5 for the last 2 years. And so, from the house of Boss, the Magnetic, Scent Elixir, Boss Bottled Elixir, and Boss Bottled Triumph Elixir. Those were all great. We also have Boss Bottled Pacific, which is a really nice summery fragrance. So, I don't know. I don't see this not being good, but you still have to have it in the back of your mind. Boss used to release all of these really crappy flankers or average flankers for like 10 years. So you never know. And having 2 in 1 year is crazy, but I'm really excited about that fragrance. But that's Boss Bottled Absolu. Not much else to talk about. It's an Eau de Parfum Intense. Or Parfum Intense, sorry. The next one is Valentino Uomo, Born in Roma, The Gold. It's a limited edition. The main notes are spices, Virginia cedar, and amber and vanilla. It seems this is kind of like a throwback to Yellow Dream, which had spices, gingerbread, cedar, sandalwood, amber, and vanilla. So, I mean, they didn't give you the full note breakdown here, obviously, but it has the gold bottle. It has that same color to it, like that Yellow Dream does. It's just more gold than yellow. So, I don't know. Last time they did it in ambery, vanilla, spicy, woody fragrance, it came out like Yellow Dream, and I think Yellow Dream is a super underrated gem. Really nice night out fragrance that you can wear pretty much all year round. That one just had pineapple. So I don't know what they're going to be doing with the rest of this fragrance. If they remove the pineapple and they just have that base, still would be a really nice, warm, ambery, vanilla, spicy fragrance with some woods under there. It could be nice. Could be generic. Their last 2 releases, the Rockstud Noir and the Green Extravaganza, were not good. So I honestly don't know. That might be another one that I have to try. Even though I started out my collection and I really liked them. I had like 2 of the first 30 fragrances in my collection were the Valentinos. So I don't know. We're going to have to check it out. Limited edition, so I will pick it up and I'll probably blind buy it just so I can have it in my collection. But that's Valentino Uomo, Born in Roma, The Gold. The last one that I wanted to talk about is really exciting because I wanted something else to come out from this line, and from what I heard, it was Angel Share Parfum. That was not released, so we are getting Kilian's Old Fashioned. You know what an Old Fashioned is? It is basically a bunch of whiskey mixed together with bitters, simple syrup, and a little bit of an orange slice. That's usually what an original Old Fashioned is. Old Fashioned is. And they say the note breakdown for this is wheat Absolu, Divana Essence, Everlasting Absolu, whatever the hell that is, cedarwood essence, styrax, and Tolu balsam. That's the first time I said Tolu balsam in like a year, and we get it twice in one video. It doesn't really come across like, where the heck is the whiskey? Where's the bitters? It's not saying that, but wheat Absolu, which is like the base of whiskey, I can see that being the case. But if it's anything like an old fashioned, it's going to be spicy, sweet, and smooth. And then it's going to have probably a little bit of an orange vibe to it. If it's going based on straight on, it could be cherry too. It depends. Some people put cherry, some people put the orange. But it's probably going to be a bitter, boozy fragrance with a slight spice, sweet and smooth essence over top of the fragrance. I'm probably gonna really like the fragrance, to be honest with you. The last time they did a boozy fragrance was Apple Brandy on the Rocks, as far as a warm fragrance, and before that was Angel Share. So those two were fantastic. So Kilian Old Fashioned, if it's anything like an actual Old Fashioned, again, boozy, bitter, semi-sweet, smooth, it has a little bit of that orange top on it. I think it's gonna be great, but we don't know by that note breakdown because it's Everlasting Absolu, whatever the hell that is. I mean, what is this, like a gobstopper? Anyway, so yeah, Superleggera, Eau Forte, Creed Centaurus, Boss Bottled Absolu, Valentino Uomo the Gold, and Kilian Old Fashioned. Let me know which ones out of all of those are your favorites. Again, I'm picking up Superleggera and Creed Centaurus, or Superleggera and Valentino the Gold, and probably Boss Bottled Absolu right off the bat. Kilian Old Fashioned and Creed Centaurus, because the price of those two fragrances comes down so quickly on discounters like Venba and Olfactory LLC and those kind of places. I'm probably going to wait until it hits those like a month or two after, but I will go out and try them out. But yeah, really, really excited. And the Sauvage I could give two shits about. I am going to try it out though. But yeah, let me know which ones are your favorites. And again, we do have those other ones if you want to go check out my other video. But thank you guys so much. I'll be back with another one. Peace out.